Let's welcome on board Amit Chadha, the CEO and MD at L&T Technology Services, joining in on the show right now. Amit, great to have you on the show. Amit, after a soft first quarter, the ask rate for the next 3 quarters is to meet that 20% plus guidance for FY24 is over 4%. What makes you this confident when rest of your peers are actually calling out the uncertainty as is?
Sure. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. As you know, our results, we grew about 10% year on year in constant currency. Organic was 7.5. We've had 6 deal wins this quarter. So we got a 50 million deal win in high tech. Plus there were 5 other deal wins, 10 million plus and between 10 and 15 million. And all of these entered into execution towards the end of June, early July, right? Profits came in at about 311 crores, as you're aware, a growth of again 13% year on year. Now, if you look at our Smart World business, that's come together with LTTS. That's a more H1, H2 business. So they will see a higher number in H2 as they've seen in H1, number one. Number two, our deal pipeline as it stands today is stronger, bigger as compared to a quarter ago, as opposed to a year ago. So therefore, this gives me the confidence that if we continue to close as we've closed in the last 2 weeks of June, and that decision-making cycle continues to be there, we will be able to meet our guidance of 20% plus growth in FY24.
But this growth bounce back, you expect that from the second quarter or third quarter?
From the second quarter itself. Otherwise, quarter 3 will be too late, right? And if I look at it, in fact, transportation for us grew at about 4% odd this quarter sequentially. I expect that to continue on the back of the investments we have made in electric vehicles and the software in that area, plus additional investments we are making in the software-defined vehicle space. I'm happy to share we've got close to about 200 people working in that space right now. We have plans to take it to up to about 2,000 people in the next few months. Second, is the growth in plant. It was a one-off because some of these decisions that clients had to make around design did not come through, but those have since come in. We've also signed some other significant contracts, and I expect plant engineering to come back to its growth trajectory starting quarter 2 and growing from there onwards. Medical for us was about 1% growth. I do expect with the deals that we have won for that to continue. Industrial came in a tad bit smaller at 0.4%, again, because some of these decisions were delayed. Plus, smaller industrial companies are taking or not making decisions given the environment that's there. But we think we can leapfrog some of that with the bigger companies that we have and clients we have in that sector. So I do believe that that will come back. High tech, we do see some stress in the areas of semiconductor and consumer electronics. And therefore, I am not sure how long will that bleed continue. Actually, our next-gen communication business has done well. The ones came on at the back of SWC, plus the one that we had, has done well in quarter 1. And there is enough and more traction to grow it in the following few quarters. Having said that, Semcon and consumer electronics is what dragged us down along with plant. And that, I believe, is an industry issue. And I think it will be a couple of quarters before that clears up. In fact, given where we are right now, we are very positive about growth. Cautiously positive, and we're actually adding at least 750 headcount in quarter 2, maybe more. Attrition has come down to 18.9%. I expect that to come down further, and I do believe that it's for us to grab. In fact, if you look at some of these reports, they are talking about the fact that ER&D globally will go from $1.8 trillion of spend to $2.7 trillion of spend by 2026. Driven by cybersecurity, AI, next-gen communications, digital manufacturing, and software-defined vehicle. So as long as we can continue to invest in these areas, I do believe that there is a path and a future for us in order to make it to a $1.5 billion run rate by FY25 that we aspire to get to.
But how is it that you're going to tackle this problem, that you talked about high-tech and transportation, considering that, there is still supply side pressure? What's the possible solution and how much of a hit are you going to take because of these supply side pressures still?
So transportation, I don't think there will be any issues. I, in fact, would like to reaffirm that I'm fairly comfortable with transportation. The teams have done well. We've got some very solid customer interactions going on. Now, in terms of high tech, the only way to get past the blues in Semcon consumer electronics is to be able to grow the other parts of the business, which is around next-gen comms, which is around ISV, which is around media entertainment. In fact, one of the large deals that we signed, the 50 million plus deal, is in media entertainment, and that's in the platform area. And I do believe that there's others there behind it that we are sitting on that we should try and close. In fact, we have some three-digit TCV deals. We have a number of 50 million, 25 million deals, and we will continue to make efforts to try and close it. See, one more thing that we did this quarter that was fairly different from previous times was we've established a customer advisory forum or council for LTTS. It is about 16 clients. Composite revenue of these companies is about $400 billion and market cap $2 trillion. So we believe as long as we can keep our clients very close to us and we can continue to understand the changing landscape and we be agile and invest in the right technology sector and areas, we do believe there's a path forward.
All right.
Having said that, I do want to acknowledge markets are tight and decision making are getting delayed. I mean, instead of 2 signatures somewhere, now there are 4 signatures taking place. And we are having to work harder to be able to, and diligently, to be able to get this to closure.
All right. Really appreciate your time, Mr. Chadha. Thank you for joining us, and good luck for coming quarters.
Thank you.